purchase a vehicle, what do you look for? Some want a fast car, some worry about the cost, some worry about the cost of maintenance per month, and a lot of people worry about the mileage, how good the car gets per mile. Most don't know what to get, and that's why I'll be persuading you to buy an EV over a gas-powered vehicle. So EV meaning electric vehicle. I'll be saying that a lot. So in this speech, I will be persuading you why you should buy an EV over a gasoline-powered vehicle. So when you purchase an EV, you would purchase it the same way you would purchase any vehicle. You go put down a down payment and then pay it off over a certain amount of months. And then that depends on like the contract or how much your down payment is, you'll pay a certain amount. An EV typically would cost more than a normal gasoline car right off the bat if you go to a dealership. The cheapest Tesla is $46,000, and that's a Tesla Model 3. And then the 2023 Chevy Bolt is $25,000, so that's more of a cheaper electric vehicle. That's probably the cheapest electric vehicle you can get right now. And then an average hybrid is $24,000. So not all electric vehicles are expensive. A hybrid isn't fully electric, but I think it's better. So is it worth it to get an EV over a gasoline-powered vehicle? In the article titled, "No Time for Pessimism About Electric Cars," the author John D. Graham states, EVs have a large advantage in operating costs. Electricity is about 65% cheaper than gasoline on an energy equivalent basis, and most analysts predict that the price of gasoline in the U.S. will rise more rapidly over time than the price of electricity. He also states the total cost of ownership throughout the lifetime of an EV is comparable or even lower than a gasoline vehicle. EV costs more, but you save more money over time. Gas prices change a lot, as all of you know, but the price of electricity will remain like relatively the same, or it won't just go crazy one month and then go back down. And it takes $60 per month to keep an EV charged, pretty much. So like, most cars you would go to the gas station once every 2 weeks and spend maybe like $90, but an EV, $60 should keep you charged the whole month. The other thing too is manufacturers are working on better batteries for their vehicles, so your vehicle will last even longer and have a longer life in general, but just the battery too will stay charged even longer, so that will save people even more money. So an EV may cost more when you buy it, but you save a lot of money over time. The next point is they're safer for humans and the environment. So EVs have zero tailpipe emission, which is pretty obvious. I stated that a lot in my last speech, so you guys might be familiar with that. They are not harmful to humans or environment. There's no things coming out the back to get in your oxygen or anything. Energy can be charged using clean energy. So for your EV, when you're charging it, it takes a lot of electricity. So if you live in a city, you'll get that energy from most likely a nuclear power plant, which is the cleanest source of energy we have right now. So this is like all the nuclear power plants in the US. This is the one in Minnesota. This is in Monticello. So that's like the one that's higher up on there. In the article, Support for Electric Vehicles and Electricity, the authors state, the total cost of ownership throughout the lifetime of an EV is comparable or even lower than a gasoline vehicle. The authors also state, the scientific case for EVs is more powerful when the electricity is generated by zero carbon or low carbon energy. So a gasoline vehicle isn't as clean as an electric vehicle, and when you involve it getting charged with nuclear energy, it's overall the cleanest way to get around. So they're already cleaner, and then once you add nuclear energy to get your power from, it's the best. If this is like what you worry about, like helping the environment, then that would be a really big advantage for you. But yes, most nuclear power plants are located in the cities where most EV owners are. In the article, Electric Vehicles Are Cleaner Than Gasoline and Getting Better by David Reichmuth, he states, 94% of people in the U.S. now live where driving an EV produces fewer emissions than a gasoline car that gets 50 miles per gallon. So basically, 94% of people who have an EV live in cities already, so they're already getting their power from clean energy. Going along with the costs, in the article published by the Union of Concerned Scientists titled Electric Vehicles in Georgia, the many benefits of driving on electricity, they state, based on current sales of EVs, are saving Georgia drivers $10 million in fuel costs, enabling them to avoid burning 4.5 million gallons of gasoline and reducing harmful climate change emissions by more than 22,000 tons annually. So these people in the cities are saving a lot of money and doing no harm to their environment. And that again is the one in Monticello, so that's the one some of you may have seen. Now the popularity, I'm sure a lot of you know, like the popularity of an EV has increased a ton. Like we used to never hear about them, now we hear about them often. They get more popular every day and there's new advancements made. People are always working on making the best one, competing with Tesla. There's 20 different manufacturers now. There hasn't always been that many, obviously, especially in the past 5 years. Most people agree that the amount of EVs will just increase over time. It's becoming a more popular thing to drive an EV. And the authors of the article titled Support for EVs and Electricity, Lon, Tara, and Purva Jain state, while the range of forecasts is very wide, most forecasters have increased their EV projections substantially over the last few years. Many agree there's still a long way to go, though, for electric vehicles. In the article, Electric Vehicles, How to Make Zero Emissions Cars Go Mainstream, author David Levinson states, yet last year, Americans bought only around 490,000 hybrids, 49,000 plug-in hybrids, and 48,000 fully electric vehicles, a tiny fraction of the some 14 million cars and light trucks sold in the country every year. So electric vehicles seem to be getting more popular, but there's still a lot more gasoline-powered vehicles. There's no reason for them not to become more popular though. In the article, Electric Cars, Disadvantages and Advantages, it states, advantage of EVs, environmental friendliness, absence of emissions, compact car, cheaper costs, and cheap fuel, electricity. So in this speech, I gave you good info on why you might want to consider purchasing an electric vehicle over a gasoline-powered vehicle. Maybe you want to save money, help the environment, or just feel included. All are reasons to consider purchasing an EV. These are my works cited, and thank you for listening.